Kevin Nicholson was raised a Democrat, but now is running for Senate in Wisconsin as a Republican, we put in bold.
In a new op-ed on FoxNews.com, Nicholson says that his parents have turned their back on him and his family, having financially backed his Democratic opponent's campaign.
Oh, boy. Here to discuss, we've got Wisconsin Senate candidate and Marine vet, Kevin Nicholson. Kevin, good morning to you. Thanks for joining us today from Madison.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for having me.
So at what point did your parents come out against you for Tammy Baldwin for Senate? Was this simply political, or was there something else going on behind the scenes?
Well, this came out late last year, and I wrote the op-ed recently because I saw this whole walk-away movement starting. I think it's important to reach out to people that are probably, like I was many years ago, frustrated with the Democrat Party and looking for a different way forward. And, you know, honestly, yeah, it probably is more than politics. I mean, I found my faith later in life with my wife. I became pro-life as I saw the birth of my children, and I saw innocent life thrown away in combat in both Iraq and Afghanistan. And those are serious differences with my parents. But that said, my wife and I never tried to split our family up. Our goal is that we could stay together. And we are blessed to have the love of our aunts, our uncles, our cousins, who are all deeply involved in our lives and our kids' lives, and in every way, shape, or form helping us out. So our focus here in writing this op-ed, and the decision my wife and I made to write this, was to say to those of you out there that are looking at a Democrat Party that in no way, shape, or form is doing anything to make our country more prosperous or more secure or finding ways to lift people up and make them successful, and instead pushes a message of dependency, there is a way forward. And look, I'm not saying the Republican Party is perfect, but I will say that I used to be a Democrat and today I'm a conservative because these policies work better. We have to plan for the future. We have to strategically invest in defense so that your kids are safe and they don't get in the same wars that I got in when I was growing up. We can stop wars before they start. And we need to stop spending money so that we're indebting future generations. I can do all that.
Kevin, I think you speak
as a conservative.
What your family has gone through, I think, speaks for so many families in this country, where you fall on different sides of the political aisle, and sometimes it's difficult to sit down at the dinner table and have real conversations about life, because politics is the way that we all think. It's the way we think about the world, we think about family and life. What's the situation like with your family now? Can you talk to your parents, or did you decide that it's best that we separate ways?
Well, unfortunately, my parents made the decision to break off contact with their larger extended family, not just my wife and my kids and I, but also to their siblings and others. So it's a decision that they made, and it's an unfortunate one because ultimately, in my mind, culture is actually upstream from politics. And the way that we treat each other, the fabric of our society is what really drives our politics. And we need to be thinking about how we bind this country together. The underlying principles that say that all of our rights were given to us by God. Our government is not allowed to infringe upon it. And that presses responsibility, but also to opportunity down to people and families. To me, that's a sensible way to live. And that's a way that I would think we could all agree upon and find ways to go forward and be more successful. So in my family, the situation is unfortunate. It's not a decision that my wife and I made. It was pressed upon us. But the important thing is reaching out to people now and saying, let's grow our Republican Party. Let's pull people into conservatism and say, ultimately, this is about empowering you and making you more successful. If that message resonates.
Meanwhile, $2,700 goes to Tammy Baldwin from your parents, on speaking terms, because you're a Republican who's pro-life. But they got to be proud of you, especially with your years in the Marines. Kevin Nicholson, best of luck.
Thank you all very much, and look forward to talking to you more soon.